Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 15 of UnCoMfY CoNvOs. This is your boy Shiv, your guy, your dude, your man, your macho man. And today we're going to talk about sensitive dude anxiety. And that's I don't know why I'm laughing. It's a very serious topic. You want to be like an alpha, an alpha male. You're a guy. You don't want to be a B word, a wuss, a B word. And to talk about this topic, we have someone who's very qualified in this field of being an alpha with emotions. And but in addition to being an alpha with emotions, he is an amazing comedian, a tremendous comedian writer based in New York City. He performs at the city's top comedy clubs, the best of the best. You go to our top comedy club in New York City, you'll see him. He works very hard. I respect him a lot. I've seen him in the scene. Been in the scene together. He recently won a residency at Broadway Comedy Club. He won the inaugural Comfy Comedy Clash. So a winner overall. I mean, he won 2 wins. All he does is win. And he competed in the Devil Cup Fest. And he will be headlining the Broadway Comedy Club's Breakout Headliner Series in the future. Again, a winner. And as if that wasn't enough to prove his winning, he also hosts an amazing comedy show in New York City at a place called the V Spot that has vegan options. I've been to the show. Great food, great comedy. So go check it out. Without further introduction, thank you so much for being on, Mike Bramante.
Shiv, thanks for having me, man. That was quite the intro, man. I'm blushing over here. All right, I'm beet red right now.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, wear it on my skin.
Yeah, you wear like an emoji.
Right. Well, I'm so white and translucent that you can see, when I have just a tiny bit of emotion, I just wear it right on my face.
Yeah, that's not how it works with me.
No, definitely not. No.
Yeah.
You got a poker face, man.
Yeah. I'm very serious. You can't tell what I'm feeling.
No, I've never known what you're feeling ever.
Yeah, and I've struggled with showing my emotions. People, and that's why I need to learn from you.
You gotta show your emotions. You gotta wear them on your sleeve. You know, you gotta put them all out there for the world to see.
Yeah, in order to be an alpha. We were texting earlier today. I just want to bring this up, and I texted you and I was like, "Hey man, like, you good to go to record?" And then you text me back and you're like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." I find it interesting that we say "man."
We do say "man." I'm not thinking about it in the sense that we're men. I wouldn't take it that way because I pretty much call everybody man. That's kind of my thing,
Yeah.
But we're not. We are men though. We're men.
Yeah, but is it like us like reassuring each other?
Yeah, I think there's a little, maybe there's a little subconscious, effort there to reinforce the fact that we should try to be men.
Yeah, or that we believe that each other, like we're both men.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're when you think about us, you think Mike and Shiv, these guys they're men's men.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, Mike, he's a man's man. I think that's what people are tossing around in the streets.
Yeah, that's what's being tossed around in the streets.
Yeah, the chatter. You hear the chatter. They're like Shiv, man's man.
Yeah. And that's what we are. Now you are now you are a vegan. You're a vegan, and I would say that growing up, most people just stereotypically, you wouldn't maybe macho man or stereotypical alpha wouldn't see veganism as a strong route.
Right. Yeah. Let's be clear. We're redefining what it means to be a man in today's society. But yeah, that's true. I would say being a vegan, I've been vegan for about 3 years. I've gotten some flack from other men, for my choices.
How
they
dare
make fun of me.
Yeah,
they make fun of me. They toss jabs my way.
Yeah.
Just eat a steak,
Yeah.
red meat, get some red meat in your system. You're going to lose weight. And they're right. I did lose a bunch of weight. That's true. But I have gained it back. No, but honestly, yeah, it was one of those things, especially even like a couple of years ago, where I don't think it was as widely accepted yet in society. I think we're getting there more and more. But even when I started drinking like almond milk, my dad was like, "What is this, like a New York City thing?" that I was drinking almond milk. Like that was wild. Um,
I drink almond milk right now, and I'm not vegan.
right. So like I haven't had dairy in over 10 plus years because I've moved. That was one of my first steps towards it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just funny how things can change or be perceived. And I think there is a perception out there where like, you don't eat enough protein, you're weaker and you're not as strong and you can't, you're not a man's man for not eating steak or chicken or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not like I see what you're saying. I can relate 100%.
Yeah.
How did you fight against the bullies?
I think you just got to commit to what you believe in, right? I mean, I'll be honest. Like the reason that I started veganism is, for the animals. I did some research. I watched some things, saw some docs. I did an internet deep dive, and I saw some things that you can't unsee. Now I'm not saying that everybody needs to do it. You got to do what works for you. But for me personally, I just didn't feel right about it anymore. It didn't make me feel good to eat animals. So it was just a decision that I made. Now I didn't look back, and like I won't ever look back because it's just not something that I want to do.
Right. So it was because of the videos.
It was a couple documentaries. I had a friend who also worked in a vegan restaurant in the city, and I would go hang out with him. One of my friends from growing up.
Yeah.
And he when he was in his mid-20s, he became a vegan. Then he started working at the vegan restaurant, and so I would go there, hang out with him, eat the food. I'd learn about it a little from him, so that kind of piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I did some research, and then I saw some footage. Listen, all right, pigs, they like belly rubs. All right, cows, they have best friends, and who am I to get in the way of that? I don't feel right about that. So that was it for me.
Yeah, sounds like you're pushing your beliefs on our listeners.
Yeah, I try not to do that, because to each their own. But listen, I get it. I get why you wouldn't want to do it. For a large part of my life, I ate meat. So it's just something, in the past 3 years where I've made the transition.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and sometimes when I would go out with friends or whatever, I would be self-conscious about like being the one who, would have to order differently, or, suggesting a place that maybe had an option. And, I'd feel a little self-conscious sometimes when we were going around the table taking orders, and I know I'd have to like talk to the waiter and, kind of whisper to them, hey, do you have any vegan options? And maybe do it quietly so the rest of the table didn't hear, so they wouldn't, start making fun of me. I've been in those situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not easy,
Yeah. So,
but now people have accepted it, I guess, since I'm 3 years in.
Got it. So back then, initially, when you were whispering it to like the way, like you weren't owning your veganism. Now you're owning it.
Yeah, I think that's true. At the start, I wasn't owning it as much because I was self-conscious about it. Like even like I waited a couple months before telling my parents, because I knew they would start getting concerned. Like, I hope you're eating enough. Hope you're getting enough nutrients.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And going home for the holidays and stuff like that, I'm getting made. My mom's, now she's, I come home, she's got 3-course meal for me ready to go. You know what I mean? All vegan.
Yeah.
But I'm the baby boy, so that's probably where a lot of the sensitivity comes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was self-conscious about telling friends and family at first.
Yeah. What was your coming out to your family on veganism like?
I remember calling my mom and talking to her about a whole host of things. And I was like, I got to tell you something. I don't know what she thought I was going to say. I go, listen, I got to tell you something. I've been eating a little differently lately. And I was like, I'm starting to eat vegan. She's like, well, I hope you don't. I hope you still eat meat and it's not like it and you're so strict about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be that strict about it. But at the time I knew I was going to be. And so, but I just had to ease into I had to make steps. You know what I mean? So over time they understand now that, like no animal products whatsoever near the food that I'm eating.
Yeah. I find it, that's completely normal and natural. Like, I get it. That hesitation, it's just so funny. I feel like the fact that she didn't know what you were going to say.
Oh, it could have been anything in that moment.
Like, you're like, I'm going to be honest, Mom, like, I've been experimenting and I am now. And then she's like super concerned, a vegan. She's like, oh. Like, oh.
Right. So it was, they're from a different generation. So like I knew they wouldn't quite understand the veganism, especially at first. Like my dad, they're cool with it. I have the best parents. They're so accepting of anything that I've ever wanted to do. But it doesn't they make fun of me still a little bit. It's all in good fun. But my dad will still call me, like, he calls me granola. You know what I mean? Like I'm a granola eating hippie. He makes jokes about that.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Listen, am I supposed to be upset that he's referring to me as a delicious snack? Okay, I don't think so. All right. Granola, great snack. Also underrated smoothie ingredient. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Toss it in your smoothie. It'll be a nice little delightful surprise for you.
Yeah. Delightful surprise. I've been putting granola in my smoothies this week for the first time, and they taste amazing.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset that he calls me. So I'm not upset that he calls me granola. I find it funny. It's all good fun. But I've tried to get them to eat more vegan, and they're open to it, and they've tried some stuff, but they're still set in their meat and potato ways. Yeah.
So you are trying to force it onto.
Well, to the people that are receptive, I will send them some stuff, because people will ask me about it. I'll have people that are interested. I'll get messages from friends, comics that want to try it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I have a couple friends that, are kind of on the edge. So maybe I'll send them a picture of some pigs, or send them a picture, of cows playing around in the field, having the time of their life, just so they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sway them. I'm just trying to objectively show them what's going on here. Okay. Those cows, it might as well be me and you, having a ball doing this podcast.
Yeah.
So put it in perspective.
What if some friends don't know you're a vegan and you just send them like pictures of cows like having a good time? Or like...
It'll probably brighten their day, because cows are adorable. All right.
And they I feel like your fantasy would be like someone, like a friend or somebody, like about sitting down at like a dinner, and like they just get steak placed on their like plate, and right before they eat it they get the text of like 2 cows.
Yeah.
Very happy, and then they like, I can't do this.
Listen, if that's what's gonna have to happen, that's what's gonna have to happen. But no, in all seriousness, like I don't try to push my beliefs with veganism onto other people. Only if they're open to it first, or really approach me, I'll talk to them about it. But I'm not necessarily an activist where I'm out there in the streets protesting. I've seen people like that. Yeah. Maybe I should be doing that. I'm too soft to be doing that, because I'm scared of what's going to happen. I don't really want to be throwing blood on people in the streets, because I'm worried of the consequences. Yeah. But do I have similar beliefs to those people? Yeah. So I probably should be, but I'm just too scared to put myself out there like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's what people would call, and people, not me, but a beta mentality, right?
Yeah.
A beta male mentality, to not like not force your opinions on someone, but to like say them and be like very aggressive.
Be forceful and assertive about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have issues. I have issues with that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I've noticed in a lot of like your stand up and stuff, and like a lot of like the bits and material is based on, you know, what it might be to be like an alpha male, like what you're expected to do versus what you actually do as a man, like, and having emotions, whether it's having emotions, like being emotionally available, like being like, you know, relationships getting very attached very quickly, like anything, like whatever it is, but a lot of it, like you play with the paradox of it, like, because you're like, oh, I'm not that.
Right. So yeah, I think one of the things that makes those type of bits funny for me is that, you know, I'm aggressive about the fact that I'm soft, right? Like I kind of I juxtapose that aggressive, you know, assertive mentality, but saying, you know, being aggressive about the fact that I'm an emotional guy and I'm a soft guy. So yeah, I have a lot of bits that are related to, you know, being emotionally available in relationships.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a joke out there that women are attracted, you know, or, you know, I've seen it both ways, but, you know, they get frustrated with emotionally unavailable men. So then I have this bit about, well, you say you're frustrated dating these guys.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm emotionally available, and I'll tell you what, you don't want that either. Okay. So you don't want the guy who's sensitive, who's crying, you know, when he sees a nice sunset, and you know, can't protect you when, you know, when a situation goes awry, and you know, maybe you got to throw hands. You know, I'm not going to be that guy. All right.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's being sensitive in terms of, you know, I'm not afraid to show my emotions. Listen, love a good cuddle, big cuddle guy. All right. I like to show affection, that type of thing. So that whole package is like, you know, representative of the fact that, you know, I think all people have, you know, an emotional, sensitive side to them. Guys, I think at times have struggled to show that. So they don't get perceived as weak. So, you know, that's why it's funny to people too, is like, because I've gotten a lot of times people come up to me after and they're like, I don't know if that was true or not, but it was funny. And or they think I'm like playing a character.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, it's all, you know, it might be a heightened version of myself for, you know, exaggerated slightly for comedic effect, but it is all rooted in truth.
Yeah. You say it's all rooted in truth. So would you say like you actually have that anxiety? And I definitely feel it, of like trying to be whatever it is like a man's man should be, like it, because you play on the paradox, but it's like I feel like in everyday life I definitely feel like, oh, like how can I be more of that?
Yeah, well, I've pretty much accepted at this point that I'm not a traditional man's man. You know, but no, I do at times. Yeah, I do feel that anxiety, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, I think to myself that I should be more of a man's man. I do need to quote unquote man up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in several areas of my life.
Yeah. What are you doing, bro?
Right. So trust me, there's several times and occasions in my life when I'm like, I just need to man up and go for it. And I've struggled a lot with that, whether it's, you know, going after things you want.
Yeah.
Right. So even if it's, you know, like a dating thing, or you're interested in somebody, I'm interested in the girl, and just never say anything, you know, because it's just, you're too scared. You're scared of rejection.
Yeah.
You're scared to make the right move, whatever you know, you analyze what the right move is. You know, I think about every possible consequence before I make a decision, then I end up not making a decision.
Yeah.
You know, so
how would you say you handled that rejection earlier, like at a younger age. Like for me, it's like it was crushing at the beginning.
Yeah, not well. No. It'll take me years to get over a breakup. Okay. That's why I go in a period of like being in a relationship for a couple of years, then swear off relationships for a couple of years, and then you're back into the cycle, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't handle it well. I don't respond well when ultimately I get my heart broken. And then I crawl into my shell.
Yeah.
And I decide not to put myself out there for a long time because I'm afraid to get hurt again.
Yeah, and that's human nature, right?
Yeah.
I feel that, but I can one up you on that because I'm more beta, all right? Don't try to out beta mail me.
We're gonna see.
I'm less alpha, I swear. Well, back in the day, and even a little bit now, you know, I try and say back in the day to cover up a little bit, but I think like even when I ask someone out or like you message someone and like you're interested in someone, you're just like, you're texting someone that you like, and then they like stop responding. Even to me now, that hurts. Like I'm like on a dating app and I'm messaging this girl I don't know at all.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't respond, and I'm like, there's something's wrong with me.
Yeah, right.
And it's completely irrational, but it's like, that's crushing to me, even though it shouldn't be.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, rejection in any form or fashion is tough to take.
Yeah.
And I think it is natural to look inside and be like, well, why aren't they responding?
Yeah.
You know, and what is wrong with me that they're not responding?
Yeah.
And then you start getting in your own head about it.
You're like, is it because I'm Indian or like whatever it is that you're.
Right. I mean, no, but yet you will go, you will think about your different characteristics and, you know, who you are. And they'll be like, well, maybe that's the reason.
Are you saying that's the reason?
Listen, I'm not saying it's not the reason. I'm just kidding.
No, going along those lines, I think that you're right. I think a lot of it sometimes can be like self-limiting beliefs. It's like you kind of being happy with who you are and like what you're doing, and then like, wanting that approval from someone else. And like once you want an approval from someone else before you're set kind of in yourself and being happy with who you are, then it's like that's when rejection can crush a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I've seen that happen. You know, and I've experienced that in relationships I've had where, you know, that on both sides.
Yeah, and especially at a younger age, I feel like now I'm aware, like even saying that to you, I'm aware of that, right?
Right.
Like at a younger age, it's like it's everything. Like if you like someone, it's like that's your world.
Oh, that's the entire world. Yeah, that means everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still get like that. You know what I mean? Like you get the match. And I'm like, all right, well, this, you know, I'm marrying this girl. I don't know why she's not deleting all of her other matches right now. You know, like she should be deleting the app as far as I'm concerned. Okay, once we're matched, we're going steady. Yeah. So she deletes all the other matches. Find me on another platform, all right? Because I've already found you on 4 or 5 different platforms. So it's not that hard, all right? And then, you know, you start a conversation, you live happily ever after. So that's how it works.
Yeah, is it?
Every time.
That's very impressive. I feel the same way. I think that you know, once you get that match, you send that first, you know, you're messaging a little bit back and forth. You know, I like maybe 1 or 2 will go back and forth, and I'm like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah, you might as well just say I love you after that.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be weird not to at that point, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like someone stops responding either on either side, because it's just like you're just like messing around on the app.
Yeah.
And then
it's crazy. I don't understand. It's like they don't understand the lives we've already envisioned having with them.
Yeah, that's the issue. We have to send them what our imaginary world is with them.
Right. That would show initiative, I think, and that would show you're a long-term planner.
Yeah.
And you're committed. And you're committed early, and you want, you know, a long, full life with them,
Yeah.
couple kids,
Yeah.
you know,
And
that type of thing.
Yeah. You wanna know what it shows, Mike?
Yeah.
It shows you know what you want.
Yeah, it shows you know what you want, and girls like that. They know, they like confidence. They like
Yeah.
confidence. They
Yes.
like guys who aren't afraid to say what they want and go after what they want.
Yeah. So I think that's a great new tactic.
Yeah, right. The earlier you can do it, the better.
The better.
in the first conversation.
Any guys or girls, anyone listening,
It doesn't matter. And you know, we're talking, you know, because we're two straight guys, but it could be any, you know, just your partner, anyone you're interested in.
yeah. Yeah, and just show them early on what you have envisioned for the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I had, before this whole quarantine started, one of the bits I was working on, which was really getting to a good place, was it's based in a reality where it's like this girl got on the subway. She was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life, right? But I was like, I'm not gonna say hi to her. Like, what are you, nuts? Like, I'm gonna hang back and respect her space and envision my whole life with her. You know, so so then I just get into the story about our whole life together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's quite a wild tale. Like, you know, we try to have kids, but it doesn't work out. So we got to do IVF, you know, multiple rounds of IVF.
Yeah.
And it's just like all my fears and anxieties of, you know, insecurities that infiltrate my dream in life with her. So it just gets like weirder as it goes on. I won't ruin it.
Yeah.
You know, if stand-up comedy ever returns again, but again, that's something that's a bit extreme, but it's all rooted in reality. With like, yeah, I do see girls walking around on the subway, and I'm like, that's the most beautiful girl ever. I'm too scared to go say hi. I don't know why. I just am.
Yeah.
It's weird to go up to a stranger. It's strange.
I think it's weirder sitting back and envisioning all that.
It, of course,
staring at her.
Absolutely is. But at least she doesn't know it. It's way weirder.
It's almost like going up to her and what you thought was initially weird is like is normal.
Right. That's what a normal guy would do.
Yeah.
But then I'll get mad. I'm like, yeah, well, if I manned up and just went and said hello, maybe something would have happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I will, you know, beat myself up for that.
But you'll get another opportunity. You're going to be on the subway the next day.
Yeah, but now I won't see that girl ever again. She's just out of my life forever. She's the love of my life. So now life is pointless. So I don't know what you want me to say.
This is like that James Blunt song where he's like, "You're beautiful," and he's like, "And I don't know what to do because I'll never be with you." And he saw her once in a crowd.
Well, you know, that song's going to start playing on loop in my head now that you put it in my head. But that's exactly what it is. I still think about her every day.
But that's hilarious. I think that going up to her, right? Like, I'm not trying to bring this up in your mind, but I'm like, just for the future, you know, like, and I need to learn this too. But I think going up to her and like, when you talk to her, it's like, actually, like what we're saying most guys do, like, I don't think most guys do that. I think it's very few.
I don't think most guys do that. But I also don't know if most guys are as scared as we are.
Yeah.
You know.
What I'm saying is, if we overcome that fear, or if anyone does, it's impressive just doing it, like, to the girl probably, because it's like, I'm used to getting a message from an app, or I'm used to like, rare. It's
true.
Yeah, very infrequent. Like,
you know, I did do it once or twice recently.
Hell yeah, you did.
Because after that moment, I was a little inspired. So there was this one girl at the gym I was working out at, throwing steel around the gym. You know what I mean? Like, just throwing massive amounts of steel. And then she was working the front desk, and, you know, we had a little back and forth. and I was going to say something to her, and then I got too scared and I left. Then I walked around the block a couple times, collected my thoughts, thought about calling my mom, wasn't going to do that. But then I walked back in and I said, hey, I'm really sorry to do this at work, but would you like to grab a drink sometime? And her face lit up, right? She was extremely happy and flattered. She said, I'm so sorry. I have a boyfriend, but thank you so much for asking. So I thought that might've been the case anyways. You know what I mean? Like could have been the case. It very well could have been. But she handled it in a mature fashion. She was flattered that I asked, you know what I mean? She didn't make it awkward. And I was like, oh yeah, I figured you probably did. So no worries.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's good.
And so after that, I haven't gone back to the gym, I had to join a new gym after that, and completely remove myself from the situation. Yeah. But, I was proud of myself.
Yeah. No, dude, that's awesome. That's good. Like, and being able to do that, I think is like very, cause then the reaction of changing gyms, probably not, that's probably not what you had to, but I understand it.
I'm joking about that part. I didn't,
yeah, it's okay.
I've still gone back.
You can tell us the truth.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Sometimes I'll peer in there to see if she's there, and if she's not, I'll go in. But if not, I'll go to another location.
Yeah.
No, but it honestly wouldn't be awkward if I saw her again, because she was cool about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, that's very alpha.
Yeah, that took a lot of courage and, self-motivation and walking around the block. And I did text a couple friends, like, this is what I'm going to do. And they're all making fun of me. You know what I mean? Cause they know what my persona is. But I did it, and I proved the doubters wrong, is what the moral of the story is. And it didn't work out for me in the end, but it was a good step in the right direction.
Who were the doubters?
All my friends who know that are like, you're not going to do it. Like, we've heard this before.
Yeah.
So you want me to name names? I'll name names. Max, Spinelli, Ben Kirschenbaum, May Planner, all told me that I wasn't going to do it. I did it.
Yeah. Well, glad you could address that.
I have no proof. And nothing came of it, so they probably think I made it up.
Yeah. You didn't. In a situation like that, you probably have to record it or something.
Yeah, no, I should have done that.
Yeah, I had the same situation, like growing up. Like, there's this talent show, like back in high school, and like there's this girl that I found really attractive, and like I built it up so much in my mind, like we're talking about, like in high school especially, like I'd like, oh, if I thought this girl was pretty, I'm like, okay, I'm already in the relationship before it happened.
Of course, yeah.
Right? Like, I hadn't even gotten her number. Like, we haven't been texting. Like, it's just like, oh, this is it, And I was smitten, as they say, right? Smitten, that's the word?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
oh, yeah, I've been there, buddy.
And I got out of the talent show. And it'd been like a solid 4 months of me liking her. And then I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't talk to her or anything. Like, I was so scared because I built it up too much in my head. And then after the talent show one day, like, she was like outside and one of my buddies was around me, and he like literally was fed up with me not talking to her, right? Mm-hmm. So he like shoved me like into like close to her. Like, he like pushed me to where like I was there, and I had to address why I was there. So then I got the number very awkwardly. But that reminds me of that, like that fear to approach. It's
absolutely. Yeah.
Very real.
I've had that my entire life, and it hasn't worked out for me. All right, because there's been plenty of times when I've been afraid to do that. But now I'm trying to take those steps to start doing those type of things. When you want to do it, go ahead and do it. You can do it respectfully. Yeah. And see what happens. There's nothing to lose.
Yeah. Conquer that fear.
Exactly.
Smash it. Just destroy that fear.
You got to destroy the fear.
Yeah. Be an alpha.
And I've done it about twice in the past 4 years, and one turned into a 2-year relationship, and the other turned into a rejection. So I'm batting 500 here.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really good. That's amazing, dude. I think I've done that in person. I mean, in college I started experimenting a little bit and stuff like with it. But batting 500 is good. I've heard guys like who approach and ask out, and like they're like when I was getting good at this, like I approached 200, 300, and
see, all my friends are like, well, it's a numbers game, you got to put as many feelers out there as you can. Yeah. And like that's not my style. All right. Yeah. It's not a numbers game. It's all right. If I'm interested, then I'll ruminate about it for months, and then I'll potentially say something. And that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to be spraying hellos to every girl I see. It's not how it works. Okay.
Yeah. You're going to save your hellos for the ones that you're genuinely interested in.
Yeah. And then I'll build it up in my head so much that when there's the rejection, then I'll feel it even more. So
it's like, it feels like a divorce.
Right.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because like a lot of guys, and just in general, there's like this whole concept of an abundance mentality, like, oh, like I have to date a lot of people, and like talk to so many people.
Right.
Like to me, like I don't know, like I can only, like you said, like one or two, like just people I'm genuinely kind of interested in, like that. Those are the people that I want to talk to. So it's like I'm not having a bunch of different people at once,
No, exactly. And I think we've talked about this before too, where it's like, if I'm talking to somebody, that's it. I'm not talking to anybody else. Like,
yeah,
if even early on, like I'm not, I don't even know how guys do that, or anybody, how they balance multiple romantic interests at one time.
Yeah.
If we've had one date, we're going steady. All right. I'm not have no one else in the purview. Okay.
Yeah. Same. I'm similar.
So I put all my energy and focus into that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm not the type of guy who knows how to balance or even is interested in, weighing multiple options at one time.
Yeah. How do you, because it's just so hard. Like my energy, even if I'm talking to one person, it's like, okay, well, I want to care about that person. And it's like, if I have 5 to 10 people that you're talking, which has never happened before, but if, in a hypothetical scenario.
Yeah, in a hypothetical scenario.
Where I get 5 to 10 people wanting to talk, then that would be amazing. But if anyways, if 5 to 10 people were talking to me at once, that I was interested in, then it's like it's too much, basically.
It's too much. Yeah, it's overload.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, right. That's the only sole reason why you're not talking to multiple people at one time. That makes sense. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, like 1 or 2 people, that's abundance.
Listen, 2, you're talking, that's wild. That's a ton. I don't know if I could do that.
You're like, shit, you're throwing around this 2 number, and I don't.
2 out of that's risky.
We were talking about on these apps though, that it creates the opportunity for abundance, I'd say, because like when you're on the apps, it's like now there's so many people that can match with anybody, right? And
right.
Especially in this day and age, it's like now we can talk to anybody, like get matched with anybody. There's so many choices, so many options. Girls on the receiving end, I feel like they're getting a lot of messages from guys like Tinder, like Hinge, like not Bumble as much because they start, but I'm wondering, like, having to send that first message to a girl, I feel like there's so much pressure around that.
Listen, there's a ton of pressure, and I'll even consult with some of my friends. What do I say? I'll be sending pictures of the profile. I'll be sending, pictures of their bio, their prompts, if it's Hinge, what they answered for the question, prompts. and we'll strategize, on what to say.
Yeah.
And we'll agonize for hours.
Yeah.
But we got to think of something clever, because you got to stand out from the crowd, like you said,
Yeah.
especially, in this dating app world where there's so many options and there's so many people. How do you separate yourself from the pack?
Yeah.
Right. And so you got to come in with something clever,
Yeah.
right away. And I've yet to figure this out, but also, you also got to be quick and assertive. I mean, now we're in a quarantine situation, so you can't really date, but a lot of the advice I get is no small talk, say something clever, get a response, ask for a drink,
Yeah.
Be quick and assertive and make those confident decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask her to buy you a drink.
Oh, is that one of your moves?
No. I thought that's what you were saying.
That might not be bad though. That's a little playful,
Yeah.
You're gonna end up paying for it, but maybe you toss it out there
as a joke, as like a joke.
As a joke, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. I'll try that one tonight.
Yeah, try to see what happens. And we just crack the code.
You're right though. There's so much pressure with that first message. Like when I am approaching it, it's like I want to be unique, and like you said, like you don't want small talk. So it's like, but it's also with that comes, I think, high risk, potentially high reward, but also also no reward.
Absolutely, 100%. Like I've sent out messages, just got radio silence on the other end, nothing. So they probably thought whatever I said was weird, But I went for the creative play instead of just saying hey or hey what's up, nothing much, how are you, and then an ending. I went for the Hail Mary first. Now there's probably a happy medium in there, but again, like I think again, it's easy to reject somebody on the apps or reject somebody on social media because there's so many options, and it's like it's not personal, it's not human, face-to-face communication. It's just somebody on a screen. Yeah, it just feels less personal. Now the rejection on the other end hurts, but I think the people that are receiving the rejection, like the way we're taking it, is not really how it's meant to be. It's just like an impersonal thing that it's just the nature of it.
Yeah, and occasionally, rarely, there's a chance that it could become more.
Yeah, right.
So there's some optimism with it. But,
so there's a little bit of hope, right?
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing? I'm thinking of some of the things that I've said in the past on that first message.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if I've said anything too weird, but like I'll start like joking around with friends, and then we'll come up with something that we think is funny, that they probably like have no context of. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time, this was years ago, my friend was like, just give her an ultimatum, say like dinner or lunch. So she has to choose one, just like dinner or lunch ? You know what I mean? So he's like, give her no option. And then I think she came up with a third option. I don't even remember what it was, but
no,
it didn't work out. The third option was no.
Or you're like dinner or lunch ? She goes like, I'm more of a lunch person.
Yeah, and then you don't know what to say after that.
I'm more of a lunch person. I've said that's really funny. Like, yeah, maybe if I write this and create a trap.
Right.
But I've like said, what's it called? I was like, oh, like your name's Pinky, like that's so cool. My mom had a dog named Pinky in India growing up. She would obviously love you because she loved her dog. And like I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But it turns out I talked to people and she didn't respond. And then I told my sisters that, and she was like, they were like, you can't compare her to a dog. And it wasn't.
So she may have taken it the wrong way.
Right. Hey, thank you. Yeah, most people see it as like I saw her as a dog. That's clearly not what I meant to.
No.
Convey. So, but everyone in my family, all my friends, they laughed at me and they're like, "You compared her to a dog."
Well, she may have interpreted it that way, but that's not what your intention was.
Right. Thank you. Can we talk more?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah, so I guess that one wasn't that bad. And then I tried experimenting like maybe like a couple of months ago, and then I was like, oh, like one of the girls' aspirations was to be on Vogue, and I'm like, oh, like probably on Vogue because you look like a model. And it was so like stereotypical or like kind of like cringy, but like you said, it's like taking those risks of like switching it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do have another funny one recently where I did. I'll say that model line wasn't the best line. That might want that moment. I can't spin that one in your favor. That might have been on you. I did a show, a couple months ago, and I walked in, and there was this girl there, and we kind of had a little back and forth. I was looking for where to go. It was a bar show, and we had a little rat tat tat. I was looking for the show. She's like, "You performing?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you?" And she's like, "No, but maybe I'll get up there." Whatever. We had a little flirtation. Yeah. Then, later on, before she left, we exchanged information.
Yeah.
Instagram model.
Wow.
Started to get intimidated. You know what I mean? And started thinking about what to say. Then I slid into the DMs. This might have been the first time I've ever done that, where I sent a DM. It was just like, some inside joke that we had back and forth that she didn't remember, whatever. And then she didn't respond. So I was like, do I follow up? Do I double text? Yeah. And I was asking May, my friend May, another comic. She's like, she told me to like say this joke that like I was like, I don't think it was a good thing, but she goes say, listen, if you don't respond to my messages, you're going to force me to be a complete gentleman and respect your space. And so that was the ultimatum that I gave her, and let's just say I'm being a complete gentleman and respecting her space. She never got back to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. And did she saw, you can see on Instagram like them seeing the message.
Yeah, she never looked at it. Well, here's the thing is she never followed me back. So that was the first sign, dude, right there.
That's low respect.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That's the lowest level of respect on earth, when someone doesn't follow you back on Instagram.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But I still had to go for it. So I don't think she's read, but I can't, if I'm not in the regular feed, I don't know if it shows if they read it or not.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You shot your shot. You did the alpha thing.
Right. And that was one where I took a risk. Maybe I took a big risk. I was trying to make a joke. She might have not understood the joke.
Yeah.
The joke was like, here's an ultimatum, like respond or, I'm going to be a gentleman and leave you alone. Like that was the joke. But it might not have been interpreted that way. I have no idea. But
yeah.
I felt like I needed to take a big shot.
Yeah.
And if she got the sense of humor, then maybe something could have happened. But didn't work out.
Her loss.
Right. Yeah. So
you won. You won.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair to say that I won the encounter. Yeah,
because you took the creative, like you won.
Right.
But I can relate to you. Like even you consulted like with your friend,
Yeah.
I consult with my sisters on like not as much what to say, but I'll like be like, oh, I said this or this is what I'm doing, and I used to like really like want them to give me advice, and now I do less of that, but I can completely relate. I'll like send something, I'll be like, guys, like, is this what do you think? What do you think of this? Or if I'm about to send something, like I'm about to send this message, like text it to them first, and then they're like, what's your review of it? And then they send it to me back. They're like, yeah, do this, adjust, put the comma somewhere else. Like it's like
it's all about the punctuation, and the grammar.
Yeah,
that's a huge key.
Yeah, it turns into like an English class, like rough draft to final draft process.
Yeah. Listen, nothing turns a girl off more than an exclamation point, all right? you can't be showing too much excitement and eagerness here. You got to play it cool.
Yeah.
You got to misspell some things. No periods. Like this text doesn't mean anything to you. You're tossing out a text. Okay,
Yeah.
you might be crafting it all day long, but you got to look like you didn't even think about it.
Yeah, you got to plan those mistakes.
Yeah. So
it's perceived as you don't care that much.
Now, when I send a text, it has perfect grammar. I've chiseled the text for hours to make it perfect. I've consulted, like you, with multiple friends.
Yeah.
And I've hired advisors, and
you paid them.
I paid them. I paid them to tell me what to say. And I'll ruminate over it for hours. I'll stress about it, and I'll finally press send.
Yeah.
And then she'll respond, and then I'll do the same process all over again.
So you said that obviously as a joke, but the exclamation point turns like people on the most.
No, I think it turns them off.
Oh, you think it turns them off?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
you're saying the correct grammar turns them off.
Correct grammar turns them off, but also like exclamation point. You're too. What is that? You're too excited.
Too excited to invest in.
Too eager too soon. Now I know we said that in the beginning, but now I'm rethinking that eagerness might not be a good thing.
Yeah.
maybe a good thing to dial back at first.
Yeah, at first especially. That's very interesting of like what excites the other person. Like, and another thing that a lot of like guys are like, if you want to be alpha, right? Like in terms, especially in the dating realm, whatever that means, it's like you have to learn how to escalate sexual tension.
Well, I don't know how to do that, so I mean, if you know how to do that, let me know, man. I think I'm good at de-escalating sexual tension. All right, I think that's where my forte is.
I think that's mine too. I think I've had so many instances where like I've been in situations where like I've talked to someone that I found attractive and like we're talking and like I want it to go places, and like I'll keep making small talk. I'll keep beating around the bush. Like I'll keep being like, oh, like yeah, the weather, and like and then you just keep, and slowly it just like the escalate.
You become the friend zone. You de-escalate to the friend zone.
Yeah, but at the beginning it was like, oh, like you felt that, that initial type of attraction. Then it's like, it's almost like I don't feel it anymore because I killed.
You killed it. Yeah, you squashed it. Yeah. Because it's easier to just squash it and not have to deal with it, or else it's just too much to handle.
Yeah, but a lot of times what happens is like you'll be talking to someone you're interested in, or for me at least, like I'll be talking to someone I'm interested in. Like you just beat around the bush so much, you extend the conversation so long, and you don't do anything.
Right.
You don't imply like, oh, I want to take you on a date, or you don't say anything, and you're like, it just becomes like an hour-long thing because the person was interested, and like they're slowly like losing it.
They're losing interest. Yep. Yeah. No, but I've been pretty good at that too.
Yeah, I've been trying to learn though. Like I've heard you have to make innuendos, but then again, like you can't be weird.
No, you can't be weird. Escalating sexual tension, that sounds tricky. It sounds a little uncomfortable. But I don't know. Like again, like if you have that initial vibe, that initial energy, I think you both can feel it. So I think that's when you both feel comfortable. And those moments, we've been in those moments where it's like the girl wants you to make a move and you're too afraid.
Yeah, I've spent like I've had a couple of nights where like maybe I'm hanging out with someone, like it's like we're later on, their place, like
things go down later on at the place.
Yeah, for most people. But for us, it was different because it's like you sit there and you're like, and another thing is sometimes you question yourself because you'll be with someone that maybe you kind of are attracted to, and then you'll be like sitting together maybe later on, whether you're at their place, your place, and you'll just be like, all of a sudden in your head you'll be like, Oh, like why is she
Right.
not here?
Listen, I've had a lot of one night, where we unpack her relationship with her mom, her relationship with her job. We unpack it all.
Yeah.
And then we're good friends after that, and we move forward. We move forward in the friend zone.
Yeah. And the alpha thing, what's the alpha in quotation marks again, is like the to make it a little uncomfortable to a point where it can escalate.
Yeah, I guess, or make the move when you had the chance. Because if you don't make the move when you had the chance, they're gonna think that you're not interested in that way, and then the whole dynamic changes.
Right. That's the thing too. It's not even just not making the move. It's like perceived as like, oh, like you don't find me attractive.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then you lose your chance forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The cold hard facts, our listeners.
It's cold hard facts. It's a cold world out there.
Yeah. What is that, like Coors Light cold hard facts, right?
Yeah, I think so. They're probably going to be a sponsor.
Yeah. They definitely they will. There's no way.
Yeah.
Before we end this, I wanna play a couple of games.
All right, sounds good.
This game is called movies you've cried to.
All right, well, it should be called Movies I Haven't Cried To, because it's going to be a pretty short list, the ones I haven't cried to.
Really? Like, would you have cried to, like, Bench Warmers or, like, Step Brothers?
Listen, Step Brothers is one of the greatest comedic films of all time. I cried from laughing so hard in that one, but I think we're talking more about emotional, sensitive crying. But all right, get into your list.
Titanic.
Yes.
Got it. I understand that one. I cried too.
Yeah.
Jack. Finding Nemo.
Yes, absolutely.
Which part?
The part where I haven't seen it in a long time, but I saw it when I was younger. Nemo's, isn't there one of the Nemo family members dies, right?
Nemo, yeah, the mom.
The mom dies, that's what I thought. Yeah. That's sad part.
Yeah. I'm questioning whether or not you're. No, I'm kidding.
I've seen Finding Nemo. I just haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember the plot. But.
Yeah. Sure. No, I'm kidding. No, you can't. It's hard not to cry to Finding Nemo. Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
The Emoji Movie.
Didn't see that movie.
How dare you?
I'll check it out.
We're just gonna leave that there. That's I'm offended. No, it's a good movie. It's highly recommend. Most people wouldn't recommend it, but I'm a complete softie on the inside, so that movie's right up my alley.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think it'd be right up our boats.
Yeah.
Chicken Little.
Never saw the movie. Familiar with the story. I imagine I would cry if I saw the movie.
Okay, fair. I respect that. Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes.
Great. I love how I called this a game, and it's just like yes or no questions.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, the list is I've cried at most every movie. These are all a lot. There's emotional, sensitive moments in these movies too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's understandable. It's not like you're saying like Die Hard and I cried at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But do you ever just I go on YouTube and I just sometimes I just want to get a good cry in and I just go to an emotional
Listen, I'm telling you right now, all right? The Notebook, one of my favorite films. Not a movie, it's a film. It's a work of art. I was watching the deleted scenes of the Notebook the other day. Okay. My biggest issue with the fact that, with these scenes is the fact they were deleted. All right. I need maximum amount of content for the Notebook. All right. I rewatch those scenes all the time of Noah winning back Allie, and I cry my eyes out. It's beautiful.
Yeah. That's gonna be the story of you and the girl at the gym.
Right. Well, that's or the girl in the subway, or the next girl that I see that I fall in love with immediately.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm just replaying the Notebook in my mind. Like, if I don't have that in my life, then I'm not happy. If I don't have that Notebook relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I honestly think I'm not even kidding. It's an amazing film. Have you seen it?
Maybe.
Listen, man. You gotta watch it. All right, it's incredible.
All right, I'll check it out.
That's the type of relationship you want.
Don't beat me up if I don't.
Well, I'll see what else. I'll have to see what I can do.
I'm scared. No. I want to do one more quick one.
Okay.
This is a mock date. I'm the girl.
Okay.
So basically, we're sitting down at dinner. I'm just gonna ask you a few quick questions. So, are you a religious person?
Well, that voice kind of threw me for a second, but no, I grew up religious, not necessarily as religious anymore.
I'm super religious, so that's not gonna.
It's not gonna work out. All right.
Yeah. Well, let's continue the date because you're paying for dinner. Or I'm gonna pay. Why are you single?
Well, we're gonna have to talk to my therapist about that one. We're gonna have to unpack a lot of issues that are buried deep down inside, and I'm unpacking all the layers right now. Doing a lot of work on that, but the main answer is I'm too afraid to get hurt.
That's actually really cute, dude. I broke out of the character because that's like really nice. That's actually really cute. That's a horrible. I got this from like top speed dating questions, and that's a horrible question. Like, why are you single?
I think that could be for a plethora of reasons. Like, I think everybody's on a different journey.
Yeah, I agree. That was very philosophical.
Yeah. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah. Preach.
Preach. I don't know who said that, but somebody did.
Do you I'm changing the voice. I sound like Mickey Mouse when I do it. I don't want to.
Yeah, just stick with the regular voice. I think that's better.
Do you exercise often?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Daily. No days off.
You say that?
No days off.
No days off. That's what you have to say at the dinner.
Yeah, say no days off. That's what they know what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I was in the gym throwing steel all over the place. All right. And then I worked up the courage to ask out the girl at the front desk.
Yeah. Mike physically is the Hulk, and emotionally maybe a little fragile, but
I do understand how I look. I do come off as, sort of look like a man. I got a strong jaw. All right, it's out there. People can see it. But it's when I wear a t-shirt, I show some veins because I've been throwing steel around the gym. I'm not the biggest guy you've ever seen, but I'm in good shape. I can hold my own.
Yeah.
So I come off as I look like maybe like a bro or like a frat bro, and people have said that to me before, but that's not who I am at all.
Yeah. And that's the moral of this story, guys. To anyone listening, You gotta be you gotta balance the alpha with the beta, or not even the beta, but if you have emotions, like you can share them, like you can be emotionally available, you can be committed, and balance it with the alpha. It's just a balancing act, and Mike knows how to balance it.
Well, I mean, I think the read, it's just being who you are. No matter what it is.
Yeah,
However you want to define it. Be who you are. Be authentic to yourself. Be true to yourself. Honestly, don't be afraid to own it.
yeah,
Um, that's my message to the fans,
yeah,
the listeners.
yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was just saying. I didn't say anything different.
No, that's exactly what I heard.
Yeah. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed. To everyone listening, hope you laugh a little bit. Before we end this, Mike, would you like to do any plugs?
Chiv, thanks a lot for having me. This was a lot of fun to be able to talk to you. You guys can follow me on social media at Michael B Comedy, Facebook or Twitter and Instagram, Michael B Comedy, like Michael B Jordan, but Michael B Comedy.
Yeah. Yep. How do you spell Michael?
I think people can figure it out. Yeah.
You got it. All right.
M-I-C-H-A-E-L.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome, man. Well, everyone listening, stay tuned for the next episode. Your boy, your boy, your dude, your alpha dude. So we'll be back at you again with another episode, and we will talk to you soon. You're gonna hear it soon. Peace.